Who would have thought a sporting event's halftime show could have a bigger impact than the game itself? Well, the Super Bowl halftime show does exactly that. In 2024, Usher brought in an audience of 180 million worldwide, the biggest ever in the event's history. But how did singing and dancing get to be the centerpiece of America's biggest sporting event? The first edition of the Super Bowl was held in 1967 when the Green Bay Packers beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Los Angeles. Because of the sheer size of the event, organisers wanted to put on entertainment at halftime for the fans in the stadium. It was a display of marching bands, dancers and pure USA patriotism, and that was the theme that followed for years. In the 1980s, the Walt Disney Company got involved and we started seeing some interesting and questionable displays. But we got our first glimpse of halftime shows to come in '93 when none other than Michael Jackson stunned fans with his 15-minute medley of his own smash hits. When he walked out on stage, he had to wait for the crowd's cheers to die down for about 2 minutes before even starting his first song. Diana Ross, Gloria Estefan, Phil Collins all starred in their own shows, as did Aerosmith, who performed alongside NSYNC. Things got a little bit out of hand in 2004 when Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson produced perhaps the most famous or infamous wardrobe malfunction in history. Shows from the likes of Prince, Lady Gaga and Beyoncé are considered by critics as the best. To give you an idea of the scale of things, Rihanna's 2023 halftime show included roughly 800 people. These ranged from backing dancers to stage crew to camera operatives broadcasting to millions around the world. The whole stage for that show was built in roughly 8 minutes and was broken down and cleared away in the same time. The acts perform for free nowadays, even though the experts reckon it costs around $13 million to put on Rihanna's show. Artists know they'll rocket up the charts in the following weeks. Rihanna's average sales improved by 140% in the months following her performance. The Super Bowl halftime show will be a fixture in pop culture for years to come. So the question is, who next?
Hello, good evening, welcome to the first sports bar of the week. I'm Jason Cundy, alongside me, Fitz Rouse. It's the legend that is Mr. Jermaine Pennant. Boom, boom, boom. Liverpool made it through to the fourth round of the FA Cup. Didn't make it easy. What is Slobberside doing, by the way? Is he taking the you-know-what? Had he been doing that against Man United in his own 6-yard box? I very much doubt it. Nearly backfired. However, Liverpool had three late goals. Are we now starting to see Florian Wirtz bubble? Not my words, by the way. Liverpool's producer, Ryan, and my co-presenter here, Jermaine Pennant, saying he's bubbling. Is he? 03717223344. Elsewhere, the January transfer window is well and truly open. And Conor Gallagher has just been confirmed as a Spurs player. What ex-Chelsea player joined Spurs? Absolutely disgusting. Spurs fans, is this the type of player you need to turn your season around? And Chelsea fans, how do you feel about one of our own going to Spurs? It happens every now and then. It does, every now and then. It does happen. 03717.
At that time, Jason Cundy.
223344. And Xabi Alonso is now on the market. Manchester United. Could you? Would you have Xabi Alonso as your manager? He's available. 03717223344. Liverpool fans are out there thinking, do you know what, right? If things do go south to slot, I'm going to ask Jammer, yes or no?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. There you go. That's it. Villa fans, are you also worried that Madrid could go for your boy, Emery? 03717223344. Get involved. We cannot do this show without you. You are part of the show. No calls, no show. You can watch us live on YouTube and Smart TV. This is the Sports Bar, live here on talkSPORT. Hello, good evening, one. Good evening, all. Good evening, Mr. Jermaine Pennant. How are you?
Good evening, mate. I'm very good, thank you.
You okay? You well?
Yeah, good.
How's your weekend?
I
come in moaning today.
Yeah, because I played.
Come in moaning about I'm still a bit sore.
Yeah, I am.
I'm a bit stiff.
I played in the Baller League last year.
Yeah.
And I was getting kicked left, right, and centre.
Well, you should be used to that, mate.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not 25 anymore.
You're not. Did you moan?
I did. I took it, on the chin.
Right.
And
you're still fit boy, though, aren't you?
But yes, I am. But when you're getting kicked like that on that surface, you feel it the next day. Put it that way.
Whooping.
Yeah, I'm moving like you, Jay.
I know. Well, that's how I feel every morning, Gemma. Right?
I'm moving stiff.
In 2 days' time, you'll be all right. You'll be able to function and walk, and I'm like that every morning, right? So
it's horrible.
Have some sympathy.
I've got a lot of sympathy for you, mate.
Yeah, have some sympathy. But you're good and well, right?
Apart from that, all weekend's been good.
Well, listen, let's kick off. Your boys just turned over Barnsley, comfortable in the end. Some great goals we saw tonight.
Yeah.
By the way. Some really lovely finishes. But Slobberside, my gosh, 2-0 up, trying to backheel the ball back to his goalkeeper's own 6-yard box. And it's like one of those you think, come on, don't take the Michael.
That's literally what it was.
Yes, it was.
It was taking the.
Yeah. But it's all well and good doing that against Barnsley. But like I said in the opener, you ain't doing that against Man United.
You're not doing
Spurs,
that.
Arsenal, Chelsea.
You're not doing that in any Premier League game.
No.
Never mind, that you mentioned. Yeah. I think it was literally, look, it's Barnsley. He probably didn't. You know what? There's no excuse for it. No. If it had paid off, fair enough. But it didn't.
Yeah. But even there's no need. It's totally unnecessary.
Should have just continued running on the.
He's not going to catch it, right?
No.
Fair. What would you have said to him in the dressing room? Literally
that. I would have said, "Listen, mate, what are you taking the Michael for?
Yeah.
Like, come on, be professional."
Indeed.
And if that's coming from me, he's doing something.
Yes, I know. Yeah, the sort of thing you might have done, right?
Exactly.
But listen, you dispatched them quite comfortably in the end. I actually thought Barnsley made a right fist of it, in all honesty. They didn't disgrace themselves.
No.
I think the scoreline flattered Liverpool, in all honesty. 2 brilliant goals.
3 brilliant goals.
There were 3 brilliant goals, but Slobberside's opener. And Frimpong as well, his foot strike with his left foot coming off that right-hand side.
Yep, and
then Wirtz, nice little curler. Keeper?
No, I think no. Yeah, it was out of reach. Great little flick from Ekitike through the defender's legs, and then
it was
flying.
Are we starting to see? So I'm going to throw this out to Liverpool fans now, because look, Wirtz has come under huge scrutiny, understandably so. One of the most expensive players, not just in this country, but in world football ever. And he's taken time to adjust. I think there's a number of reasons as to why that was. I think probably not playing his best position. Liverpool stuttering. I think collectively Liverpool have been pretty average this season. And to join a new team, there's been a lot of change up top for Liverpool. Huge change. Are we starting to see him and Ekitike now looking, from what I've seen recently, there does seem a little synergy between the pair?
Yeah, I think he's starting to now grasp the Premier League, how physical it is. It's English football in general. He's starting to grasp how intense the intensity of it, and there has been talk that he's been getting a little bit stronger, putting on a bit more timber to adapt to the league, and we're starting seeing the fruits of the labours from that. I think that's his third or fourth goal in his last 6 games. And that's what Liverpool bought him for.
By the way, what about the miss, though? I mean,
again,
that is just taking the...
It was a little bit of lack of respect of the opponent, opposition, because I think if that's in the Premier League, he's not just dangling a leg out there. No, he's
putting laces on that.
Laces through.
Because the cross is so good and he's in such a good area. Actually, it's just about making good contact.
Yeah,
and he kind of flicked his foot. At it, as opposed to get good contact.
But hopefully that's a lesson learned from both of them.
Yeah, and you can get away with it, like we said. Get away with it again.
Because they couldn't have. That could have cost them.
Yeah, potentially.
So Bosley, that could have, because after that goal they got a little bit of wind in the sails.
What about the penalty shout? Sloboside in the box.
I can't even believe it's a discussion.
Well, no, okay, right. The reason
I genuinely, go on.
Well, the reason it's a discussion is our very own Ali McCoist was dying on the hill by saying it's a penalty.
No, but not just a penalty, a stonewall penalty.
Well, listen, from the first look at it, it does look like Sloboside gets his ankle.
Yeah,
and then you get another look at it, and it's slowed down, and he doesn't.
He has a touch on the ball.
Yeah, I know, but
that's not what they're raving about. That's not what they're saying. It should be a penalty.
Okay, right. He definitely wins the ball.
Yeah.
What also happens, he definitely has a bit of his shirt, right?
Yeah.
Don't look at me like that.
I'm not.
He definitely has a bit of his shirt. Personally, I don't think it's a penalty. There's not enough. It's a contact sport. You expect there's grabbing, there's grappling, there's pulling, there's all of that that's going on in and around the penalty, especially there. I don't think it's a penalty. But on TNT, Ali McCoy said a bit of a two-way. Was it with Julian Lescott? Can't remember what it was.
Julian Lescott said no. He said it wasn't a penalty.
Yeah.
He's a defender. Alan McCoy said it wasn't as an attacker.
Well, the boy Cleary won man of the match. He was outstanding, by the way. And the left-hand side, I don't know if anyone saw this, but the left-hand side player for Barnsley was voted man of the match. He's the one that's gone in the box. And the gaffer has absolutely gone crazy. Conor Houlihan is
well, of course, because from his angle, he's not seeing from that distance as well.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to see that slight. Because when we're talking about touch, it's a slight nick.
Yeah, no, he gets the ball though.
Yeah, gets the ball, but to the naked eye, you are not seeing that, and especially from the dugout,
especially when it's running at pace.
Exactly. So you can understand why he's probably thinking and is a bit aggrieved that penalty's not been given him. But when you slow it down, when you actually see it, full credit to the referee to not giving it. Because it was ultimately the right.
It's one of those, Gemma. If he gives it, you can't blame him.
No. Yeah, and
he's got it right.
And that's when you would want VAR to intervene, but we know that there's no VAR in this competition yet. So it was a good call, brave call. But for the commentators to be saying, Barnsley should feel hard done by because of the penalty. Absolutely not. Especially when they see it again.
I think Coisty's talked about the pull on the shoulder.
That pulls that is more. No,
I'm with you on that.
It's nothing.
I think that's where Coisty is going to go. Anything you've seen over the weekend? 03717223344. But we're going to reflect on Liverpool 4, Barnsley 1. We're also going to ask Liverpool fans about Xabi Alonso, who's been relieved of his duties at Real Madrid, a former Liverpool legend, of course. Slot is on thin. I don't know. Thin ice. Am I being unkind by saying that?
Let's just say pressure.
Okay.
There's a lot of pressure building.
Yeah. Okay.
I won't say thin ice, but I would say there's.
How thick is the ice? How many millimetres are we talking here?
You could go.
Okay, let's say.
You could go skating.
You could,
possibly, but there could be a little crack somewhere where it starts getting thin.
Right. Okay.
You go further out.
Right, listen, I don't want to be skating on anything that looks like the cracks might be going right. So that's where Slot is. 03717223344. Let's welcome Theo, the first caller of the night. Theo, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, lads. How are we?
All right, mate. Yeah, you're the first caller, Theo. Make it a good one.
Yeah. Well, I think for this game, it was a very much sort of contrast compared to the game in the week against Arsenal. I thought Barnsley, all credit to them. I think, as you kind of said, the scoreline was very flattering to us.
Yep.
I thought they were giving us a very good go, particularly in those sort of early stages where I think they hit the post within about 30 seconds.
Yes,
or something like that. And then obviously Szoboszlai scored an absolute screamer, and then makes that mistake after the second goal, which, as you kind of alluded to, if it was in the Premier League, would you have done it? I don't think so. But overall, we played all right. I think Barnsley, in parts, played better than us. Yeah. And then when we brought on Wirtz and Ekatike, completely changed the game. They were superb. I thought their winger, I think it's Cleary.
McCleary.
Yeah. I thought he was really good when he was on. He was causing us some issues. And then their penalties, wasn't much in it really, was there?
I didn't think so.
No.
So let me ask. Look, you dealt with Barnsley, and they put up a fight, and in the end, the quality showed. Xabi Alonso is available now. Certainly will be in the coming weeks once things get sorted out. I'm not suggesting 1 second right here, right now, the Slot is going to leave his post, but I've got a good friend of mine who's a Liverpool fan, and he absolutely would swap him right here, right now. I just wonder where you are.
Well, I think the one thing I would say is the performances have got to improve, because whilst we're not losing games necessarily, we're also not playing well. We haven't been playing. I mean, we played against Arsenal, and you could argue we were the better team, but we were also more or less parking the bus for quite a bit of that game.
Yeah, strange.
And for me, the performances haven't been convincing enough. So if we start losing games and we start losing games badly, then you've got to be looking to Alonso. But the results aren't matching the performances at the moment. We are getting to the results, but we're not playing well in those results.
Now listen, do you know what? That was part of the beginning of the season. It felt a bit like that, actually. The results.
It was getting away with a lot. You know, I think everyone touched on it. You can't continue going in that direction by trying to get last minute winners. You know, that's not going to. You're not going to maintain.
Keep getting away with that.
Yeah, you're not going to maintain that. And you know, once they stopped, then you actually saw where Liverpool were at. Yeah. But he's right. The performances, like I said, they're on an unbeaten run. But the performances have got to be better. You can't be drawing against promoted teams home and away.
Mm-hmm.
You may want them, but to draw against Leeds twice, home and away,
especially as reigning champs, right? That's the thing as well. Yeah. And you're seeing other teams that are kind of
no disrespect to Sunderland, but they're coming to Anfield. You should not be drawing against Sunderland.
Actually,
yeah, I get it. A stadium like this. This is a total different little beast. But when you come into Anfield,
no, I get that.
You shouldn't.
03717223344 is the number. Ollie is dialed, a Barnsley fan. Ollie, good evening. Welcome.
Welcome. Hi there, guys. How you doing?
You all right, matey? Did you go to the game, Ollie?
Yeah. I'm just on my way back now.
Right. Okay. I mean, I could hear you boys singing. It was I don't know how many tickets you had there, but it looks like you sold out the whole away end.
Oh yeah, sold out. I think we had about 6,000, if not more.
Yeah, it looked like it. Yeah. A good day out, but I mean, you must be proud of what you saw. It's
100%. 100%. We played our absolute socks off. We were fantastic. Probably one of the best performances we've put in all season, and we still lost. I think Cleary is one of the best players, not just in League One. I think he's way past championship level. If he's taken on players like Szoboszlai with ease, I think he's got it in him to go the distance. You know what I mean?
Trying to sell him?
I'm not trying to sell him, but if you want him, he'll cost you more than 10 million, according to me.
Well, I would have thought so. He was a little pocket rocket, so lively, And what impressed me was every time he got the ball, his first instincts, I want to try and get past the fullback. That's his first thought.
He's got that attacking intent. He's just unbelievable with it. He just wants to take everyone, wants to get into that box, wants to put a cross in. He's just unbelievable with it.
Which is such refreshing to see. As in, like, now we see so much, even in the Premier League, or more so in the Premier League, is that wingers tend to go down the line, chop back, come back inside, run into danger. Where now sometimes it's just good to get old-fashioned wing play, get down to the byline, get the ball in the box, cause a bit of chaos.
Yeah, 100%. That's what you want, and that's what makes football fun, doesn't it? It's just that little bit of chaos that can get added by a misstep, a mispass, a misplacement, and then someone's in. It's great, but yeah, overall, I think the rest of the team, they put an absolute shift in. I think Phillips was fantastic in the first half. Vimal Yoganathan as well, he was fantastic. I don't think anybody put in a shift that I can have any complaints about. No. Murphy Cooper made an incredible save as well. It was just brilliant to watch. Brilliant to watch.
I'll tell you, when Szoboszlai made that mistake, it was 2-1. How did that feel for you guys? Scoring a goal at Anfield, being 2-1, and a little bit of hope started to creep in.
Oh, 100%. The hope was there. It was sitting in my chest for the whole of that second half. It was when that went in. It was brilliant because we knew we were back in it, but we never really thought we were out of it. Does that make sense? Because we were pressing, we were attacking, we had that intent.
You had moments. It looks like you might get the equaliser. Like we said, I think you'd be very proud of the boys. In the end, the quality. This is what Premier League sides do. Generally, the quality towards the end of the game shows. We saw that. Mymol beat Charlton Saturday night. Bring players off the bench. Too strong. Liverpool done exactly the same. Listen, safe journey home on now. Liverpool beat Barnsley 4-1 third round of the FA Cup tonight. Sam Matterface was watching the talkSPORT. He's alongside Liverpool manager Arne Slot now. Sam.
How is it possible that after 30 seconds they can cross a ball in your box without us preventing that? And how can someone then be as free in the box to head it towards our goal? That was my thought at that moment.
You said you're frustrated. Does your frustration come from the fact that you're not creating as many chances as you want, and then you are switching off in those moments and conceding chances which maybe you feel you shouldn't be?
I've already said that I was frustrated and that I keep the reason before that for myself. I saw 4 beautiful goals. First one, shot from distance. It's hard for us to unlock a low block, so one of the options you have is a set piece or a shot from the second phase. Or a great 1v1 goal, which was the second one. And the third was, I think, a great attack. Some skillful football between Curtis, Hugo and Florian, great finish, and the fourth one running behind. So great goals, but and in the end 4-1, good win into the next round. So let's go.
And interesting reading your programme notes, you said that you'd learned a few lessons actually from the Plymouth game last year and a bit about the FA Cup itself, and you fielded a really strong team tonight. Was that because of the fact that you had learnt those lessons, or was it more because you want momentum to keep this run of unbeaten games going?
Those 2 reasons, and the third reason is that I'm not even able, even if I wanted to do the same as last season against Plymouth, to change 11 players, because if I'm able to, but then I should look at the under-21s and the under-18s, because we have 3 long-term injuries, as you know, Giovanni Leoni, Conor Bradley and Alexander Isak. And Wata only trained once, so even if I wanted to, I wasn't able to make 11 changes compared to the Arsenal game. And as a result of that, we could keep momentum and we could play in the same players. But keep in mind, we had and have to play 9 games in January, so I have a lot of respect for the players that are fit and have to play so many games. And in the meantime, they are unbeaten, 11 games now, and so yeah. It's a bit of everything what you just said.
Well, just finally, will you get any help in the January transfer window, or is that short-term fix not available to you?
I think the most important thing is that the players that were injured not so long as the 3 I just mentioned come back, and that's what you could see with Wata. He's back in the squad today. Joe Gomez was back in the squad today, and yeah, again today I could impact the game off the bench like I've could in recent weeks as well.
On a Slot Liverpool manager speaking to Sam Matterface, 4-1. A comfortable win in the end. I think the scoreline flattened Liverpool slightly, but nonetheless they are through. Let's go back to the line, speak to Marky, Mark, Liverpool fan. Mark, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Hello, mate.
All right, matey.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Pleasure. Thanks for joining us.
The last 6 weeks watching Liverpool, they've been so passive, particularly against these low block oppositions. We've made 2 wingers at League One level look like world beaters this evening. I completely agree with you and the Barnsley fan that, to a man, Barnsley for, I'd say, 50 minutes of that game were largely better than us. But this low block opposition, that has to be a tactical decision for me, from Arne Slot, in the way that we're setting up against these teams. And Curtis Jones has to be the most frustrating footballer to watch at this moment in time. He's unbelievable. He's very skillful, but my word, he holds on to the ball far too long.
Mark. So let me just come in there, please. Look, I see my team, Chelsea, play against teams at a low block, right, and it's so frustrating. The first thing you do when you play against a team with a low block, you move the ball quickly. You have to move it quickly.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happened to Liverpool this season, but it's almost like you're passing for passing's sake, and there's 2 touches, 3 touches, where 1 touch will do. You'll have 5 touches where 2 touches do, and it slows the momentum. And that's my note. That's what I've seen about Liverpool this year. There is a lack of urgency about the way you move the ball through the thirds and from left to right.
I completely agree, and that's what I mean. I think it is a deliberate tactical setup that's coming from Slot, and I don't know why it is, because you look at us last season, we moved the ball quickly, we hit people on the counter, we were able to, direct games. We were able to, really drive the attack and score freely, and the games were interesting. But like I said, last 6 weeks we've been so passive, and I don't know where it's coming from. Yes, we've had injuries, but that's not really a sufficient excuse. We've still got a world-class squad that can go out and win games well. And I think the other Liverpool fan before me said it. The performances of late haven't been hugely exciting, and all that matters at the end of the day is getting a win, 3 points in the league, getting through to the next round of the cup. But some of these performances at the minute are becoming lacklustre. I'm not Slot out yet, but I do agree that the ice is thinning rather quickly, because I think Liverpool fans now will look at that Alonso situation with a keen eye. We finished 4th in the league, which looks like it might happen, albeit we don't know what's going to happen with Chelsea. Champions League, we're there or thereabouts, and through to the next round of the cup. But yeah, we are limping to the end of the season, I feel, already.
Yeah, I think what we saw is we started to see it last season when Slot took over, as in we saw the Klopp's chaos go to a little controlled style of play. And yes, we won the league, but we saw a little bit more tempo-wise. But this season, it seems like he's gone even further back, as in he's slowed it down even further, rather than like you just touched on there, Jay, is that the ball's on one side of the pitch of the winger. It goes from the winger to the midfielder, to the defender, to the defender, to the next midfielder, out to the winger. How about you just miss 3 players out, go straight to the midfielder, back out to the winger, so they can't get into their shape?
And that's how... trying to break down a low block, especially when it's a 5-4-1.
That's how you break it down.
It's so tough. It's so, because when they sit in and they're on the edge of the box, it's hard. It's not easy. But there is one. The first rule, move the ball quickly. If you don't move it quickly, it's so easy for that midfield to shuffle across and fill those spaces. And then all of a sudden, you become a little bit predictable, and then they then get into a rhythm. Then you start to come up against this line, and you think you run out of ideas. Move it quickly. Yeah. When Klopp used to play against sides that were trying to be like that, Klopp, when he called it heavy metal football, they would tear you apart with pace, urgency, all of the above that we're not seeing from Slot. And it feels like we've gone from that Klopp era. And I understand you're right about more control of the game last season. He's gone again. He's gone backwards again.
He's gone even further back.
Yes, he has.
It's gone more intense, and
I agree with that.
It's difficult. And that's why they struggle against the low block teams. And I'm quite confused why 19 to 20 games in that you've not kind of addressed that.
Mate,
and you
it ain't just a Liverpool problem, by the way. Yeah. There's a lot of teams that struggle with that. And when they're so well organised, and look, no disrespect to Barnsley, right? But when you come up against a side that have been coached that way by a Premier League manager, it's even harder. Yeah. And that's when you really come unstuck. Keep the calls coming, gang. Next up, we'll hear from Liverpool fans about your man, Xabi Alonso. He's available. Would any of you take him now? There's no sign or evidence to suggest right here, right now, Slot's leaving his post. But Liverpool fans, I know, and that previous caller, if he's available, jump now. And Manchester United fans, would you have Xabi Alonso at your club? 03 717 22 3344. You are listening to the Sports Bar here on talkSPORT with talkSPORT Bet. Download the new talkSPORT Bet app. 18 plus, begambleaware.org. Hello, good evening. You are listening to SportsBoy here on talkSPORT. I'm Jason Cundy alongside Jermaine Pennant. Still to come. We'll be joined by Kevin Atchard to get the latest on Xabi Alonso leaving Real Madrid and Conor Gallagher's move to Spurs. talkSPORT understands that Conor Gallagher will sign a 5-year contract, and we'll have a medical tomorrow. Now, before we get to your calls, let's have a reminder how Liverpool's win over Barnsley sounded right here live on talkSPORT.
It's a terrific atmosphere for our 11th commentary from the FA Cup third round weekend. Szoboszlai, who's eyeing up to hit one. He does that and fires it in beautifully from 25 yards, and it's an absolute cracker. Bashes one in from distance. 1-0 Liverpool. Here's Frimpong into the penalty area, down the left-hand side, smashes it left-footed, and Liverpool lead by 2-0.
It's a lovely finish with a left foot of Frimpong into the top corner.
Oh, to give the ball away, and Adam Phillips picks the ball up after a massive mistake by Szoboszlai, who fell over the ball in his own 6-yard area. It's the former Liverpool Academy graduate, Adam Phillips, who gets the goal at the top end. Ziyech from the edge of the area, smashes it past the goalkeeper and seals Liverpool place in round 4 of the competition. Ekitike to finish it off. It's the 4th goal for Liverpool. The Reds go marching on after beating Barnsley by 4-1.
Yes, that's how it sounded here on talkSPORT. Liverpool beat Barnsley in the FA Cup third round tonight, despite Dominic Szoboszlai gifting Barnsley a goal with a back heel in his own box. Barnsley manager Conor Haaaaas spoke to talkSPORT after the game and had this to say on that moment.
Yeah, delighted for Philo. I thought, look, he's come up through the academy here. He's been on pre-season tours with the first team, and it was really, something that he'll treasure for a long time to score. I was a little bit disappointed, if I'm being honest, with the player. I don't think he does that against Chelsea. I don't think he does that against Arsenal.
You're talking about Dominic Szoboszlai?
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit disrespectful. I don't think he messes around with the ball like that in the 6-yard box in a big game. So, unbelievable for Philo, but a little bit disrespectful from the player, I felt.
That was Barnsley manager Conor Haaaaas talking about that moment. I totally agree with him. I suppose if there is one thing that you can come from that, Slot won't be happy, the players won't be happy, and he won't be happy with himself. He's got away with it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's got away with it. And he's right. He won't do that in a big Champions League game. He ain't doing that in a big derby.
Absolutely not.
And he had his collar felt there. And he made the point in the post-match interview. He did say he put
his team under unnecessary pressure.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He recognised that. Just don't do it. Don't take unnecessary risks.
No, but even if it did come off, it was still risky.
Yeah, and there's no point.
There
was no point.
Trying to think of the thought process of why he was going to do that, because it was risky all the way through.
He's taken the you know what.
Yeah, I know, but even if it came off, it was still not good.
No, I agree with you.
It's not like he was playing out of play.
No, I agree.
But anyway.
Let's go and speak to Alex, who's a Barnsley fan. Alex, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Evening, gents.
Hi,
Thank you.
Yeah. Do we have the game, Al?
Yeah. I didn't go tonight, no. I am a season ticket holder at Barnsley, but, we're sold out 6,000 tickets like that, and I'm going on holiday next week.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Sri Lanka next week.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
So,
wow, you got a few quid?
Yeah. I
like the honesty. Modest.
It should be pretty.
Are you going trekking? You going doing all the elephants, all that sort of stuff in Sri Lanka?
Yeah. There's going to be there's going to be some excursions, coinciding with the cricket. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Who are you going with?
Good. I'm going with my dad, his mate, a couple of lads that are similar age to me.
It's a lads' holiday?
It's going to be a bit of a lads' holiday, yeah.
All right.
Should be good.
Have fun, stay safe, be a good boy.
Aye.
Go on, what do you want to say?
Anything that Cundy wouldn't do?
Just going back on the game, to get a Barnsley perspective on it, I thought we did ourselves proud tonight. I did. I thought we played really well. I think we defended well. Go to Anfield, you're going to be under pump, aren't you? And I think we, we got into good situations, and we just couldn't. It's that lack of quality in it, and when I was watching it, I thought that's a penalty that because he's got wrong side of Szoboszlai, and
what do you think now?
Looking back, I think maybe there's not enough. But I think if that's at the top end, I think it's a different story. That
what you say, Liverpool get it?
if that's at the Kop end, there's no hesitation from referee. He's pointing to the spot there.
Maybe, but
you know what I mean?
But he made the right call, right? I think that's
I mean, looking back, I think it's probably the right call. I think it probably is. But I said exactly the same words as Conor Hourihane. I said that is disrespectful though. That from Szoboszlai when he's backheeled it inside, his own penalty area like that. It's disrespectful that.
Yeah,
and I mean, I was watching the draw beforehand, and it was Liverpool or Barnsley were first to be drawn out.
Yeah.
And I think is it TNT Sports? I said
Darren Fletcher, I think.
Yeah. And he's saying, "Oh, Liverpool will play Brighton," and I thought
game's not even finished
yet. I thought, well, yeah, and I thought, right, fair enough. He's made a mistake. It's the first time. Yeah. But then he said it again. He said Liverpool will play Brighton. I'm saying the level of disrespect. It's astonishing. We're not a Sunday League side.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what, Al? I
kind of agree with you.
I do agree with you. Yeah. But do you know what? I made that mistake a couple of weeks ago when Arsenal drew Crystal Palace, and I made the mistake of saying Arsenal, right? And I think there's just that thought process that, well, Arsenal get past Palace, and they did. And I think probably Darren Fletcher, he has had the same bit of a brain fart, hasn't quite thought it through. I don't think there's any disrespect meant out at all.
Yeah, maybe that's just me being partisan towards my club, maybe. But
but your club though, I tell you what, they're going back down the M6 and 1-1 either get to Barnsley's at the end. Anyway, they're going to be having their head held very very high.
Totally.
They, I would impress me. I said to my dad. I said before. Went to pub with my mates to watch it, and I said to them both, I just said, as long as we don't get humiliated tonight, I'm happy. No. Because we took a tonking off of Brighton. I think it were in League Cup earlier on in season. It was like 6-0 at home, and it was just
ugly.
It weren't good to watch. And I just said, as long as we don't get battered tonight, I'm happy with that. And I don't think 4-1 I don't think it was a fair reflection.
No, I agree. I think it flattered Liverpool. I really do. Yeah, I totally agree.
I think it did, but it's just like I say, it's that bit of quality that shines. So if you're bringing on Verts, Ekatike, it's like hundreds of millions of pounds worth of talent, isn't it? And
it's just costs more than your team.
Yeah,
exactly.
Listen, Al, enjoy your safari.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, take some pics and make sure you phone us back. Let us know how it went.
Yeah, I will do.
All right, bud. Good luck. Cheers, matey. There's Al going on a safari in a couple of weeks.
Nice
with the boys. Going on with the lads holiday.
Nice. It can't be a
Would you go with the lads holiday, the safari, if you had a choice? Don't even answer that, Gemma.
I'm not going to.
It's a stupid question.
Yeah, it is.
Don't even answer it, mate. Let's go speak to Kieran, who's a Liverpool fan. All right, Kieran?
How are we doing, boss man? How are you?
I'm all right, bud. Thanks for phoning. What do you want to say?
I'm not really too worried about the situation with Slot at the moment in time. I mean, I know the performance wasn't great tonight, and I know the last few games haven't been great, but what I will say is, compared to, the Man United game when we were literally under the cosh all the time on that game, and a few other games in between that, we've not done too bad. We stabled ourselves in defence, I think. I know that the lad tonight saying the Barnsley support, and they're saying that it was disrespectful from Szoboszlai. I don't think it's disrespectful from Szoboszlai. What I think he's making a few more mistakes this season. Like he's been playing at like.
No, you don't backheel the ball to your goalkeeper in the 6-yard box. That's not just a mistake.
I'm not trying to say that I'm just trying to say that I think these silly little errors have not just been with Barnsley. It's been with a few games this season, and I know that he's saying that they're not a Sunday League side, but I know that people are saying, oh, he's done that because of that. It's nothing to do with that. I think genuinely sometimes it's a lapse of concentration on the whole. I mean, it's not just him who's done that this season. Canate's had a few little
I know, but I don't think if he's playing against Man United or any Premier League opposition, I do not think he's doing that, trying to attempt a backheel inside the 6-yard box. I think he's either going to continue to run with the ball or he's going to ping it upfield.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So is it? Hold on. Do you want to take that? Go on, Kieran. Go on, mate. I'm messing with you.
Oh, sorry, brother. All I was trying to say, I don't think it was a genuine error on his behalf to do stuff like that. And I think these general errors need to be sorted out by Slot. And that's my personal thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not that it's against Barnsley, because personally, I think that he's done it against some other teams which are in the Premier League this season. Where
backhilling the ball in his 6-yard box?
No, but like making a stupid pass, not concentrating, or not being just being a little bit lapsadaisical, as they say.
Yeah, but not in your 6-yard box. I mean, players give the balls up, right? That can happen. A lack of concentration. That was not a lack of concentration. He knew exactly what he was trying to do, and he was trying to flick the ball back to his goalkeeper, and he made himself look an absolute... He looked ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing, though. That's the thing. He is a Wally on that side of things, but it won't be the first time he's done that. And I think Slot does need to take him, or Virgil needs to take him to one side and says, "You're better than that type of player." Because,
especially if they've got the equaliser.
All the respect in the world, mate. Barnsley played us off the pitch sometimes in this game tonight, and they've really gone out of their way to show us. You know what I'm saying? The aspect of the being a 4-1 is really, you know what I'm saying? It's unsighted, really, to be that sort of game. But
take it.
Like I say, I think personally, Slot's not in a bit of a worry inside. I
think he's all right. I asked Jammer here about how thick the ice was, and Jammer's saying there's a few cracks appearing. Is the ice quite thick with you for Slot?
Yeah, I think so, because we can't do it like other clubs. Like, we're not being nasty. I'm not being disrespectful to Man United, but if you start getting different managers, if you start getting different managers in, it's going to not show confidence in the teams. Right, okay. That's my personal opinion there. Amarin, to be honest with you, I didn't mind Amarin at United. I think he was actually starting to change it there, man.
Horrible, Kieran.
But Kieran,
be horrible, mate.
Let me have a quick question for you. So from going from last season, from winning the Premier League, the style of football we was playing, the performance that we saw week in, week out, to what we're seeing Liverpool play now, where they are.
Yeah, it's not respectful at this sort of side. I understand that where you're coming from, but what I will say is we've made quite a few changes, and we've had a little thing. Well, we've had a big thing that's happened to our team this season, and I think we've lost a phenomenal player as Luis Diaz as well, because he was getting us goals and he was causing us pace. And I mean, people didn't like him, but I didn't even mind Darwin Núñez, being truthful, because he caused chaos. Sometimes you need a big physical force. We've got a player like that now as in TK. Ekitike, don't get me wrong, he's a different player and he's playing a baller right now. But we've got players now gaining a bit more confidence. Wirtz is starting to shine through. And there's a few other players there that are starting to show their importance to the game. Kirk has had a mare at the start of the season. He's starting to play. And I think now the team's starting to gel a little bit, and I think we've got a little bit of momentum. I think the Arsenal game, I've never been so proud of my team, and I know we didn't actually win the game.
You can't say that in front of Arsenal fans. You can't say that. They'll kill you for celebrating the draw. They know all about that. Thanks for the call, Kieran. Safe journey and Bud. Keep the calls coming. When you hear from Liverpool fans, your man Xavi Alonso is available right now, and would you take him now over Slot? 0371722 334. You want to listen to the Sports Bar here on talkSPORT. With talkSPORT Bet, download the new talkSPORT Bet app today. 18 plus. BigGambleAware.org. Thanks for your company. Well, listen to Sports Player on talkSPORT. I'm Jason Cundy alongside Jermaine Pennant. Still to come. We're here from United fans. Should you be going all out for Xabi Alonso? How do you feel, Liverpool fans? I'm going to speak to Jammer in a second. 03717 223344. Now, Xabi Alonso was relieved of his duties and Arbeloa has taken over. Jammer, you played with both of these, right?
Yes, I did.
First off, Xabi Alonso, when you played with him, did he ever come across as being... Did you think he was always going to be head coach, manager? Was that what...
I could see some coaching role, yes. Because he just loved the game and he's a genius of the game as well. So for him to take that practice into being a coach, I think, and his style of the way he would like to play, I think it was always going to suit him well.
Are you surprised it hasn't worked out at Real? I watched the game last night.
I am so surprised because to me it kind of has worked out. But for some reason, he's just not got the backing of the players and some key figures in there are making a lot of noise. But if you look at his record, in the last decade, he has the highest win ratio. He's got 71% of his games win ratio. That's the best manager that's been there in the last decade. The last time someone was top of that was Carlo Ancelotti in 2013 with 74%. But he has the best out of any other recent
But
manager.
the problem they got beat last night in the Super Cup against Barcelona. And they're trailing Barcelona in the league. And
they're trailing by 4 points.
Yeah, I know, but you know it's like in Spain,
I know.
That's a disaster, apparently.
4 points difference in there. They're also in the automatic qualification in the Champions League. They're in the top 8.
It's not. I'm surprised it's happened now. Obviously, it's on the back of last night's defeat.
Yeah,
it's
on the back of the defeat, and I think it's key figures, not like having a liking to whether it's his style or him as an individual. You know, the one with Vinicius Jr. not signing a contract if he stays in charge. And I think a lot of these little key figures and players with egos have definitely swayed the chairman's decision on this because last touchdown, his record of win ratio is good. Yeah, they're 4 points drift and they lost to Barcelona last night, but you know, it's not a season's not just one game. So I am shocked.
What a game last night.
Yeah.
It was sensational, honestly. The quality in that fight in the final third. Some of the goals. I mean, Vinicius Jr., the goal from Lewandowski as well. Lamine Yamal. I mean, there is some serious players in that on that pitch last night. It was a pleasure to watch it. I mean, Barcelona probably shaded it, if the truth be told. Yeah. But unbelievable. Listen, you played with Arbeloa again. It's a little bit unclear as to exactly what the situation is like for him at Real Madrid. We're going to speak to Kevin Echard very shortly. He'll be coming up in about the next 20 minutes, half an hour or so. And we're going to ask him exactly what that contract means. But Arbeloa has taken... You played with him as well, Gemma.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
No, because he was very quiet. He wouldn't really interact much with the Spanish peers. But no, I never thought he's going to be a coach at all. It's probably one of... It's not the most luxurious right-backs Liverpool have had. Over the years, I can remember Stevie G and Carragher always shouting at him because he's always making some mistake.
Yeah. You have any knocks out with him?
No, they're probably just how Christmas do would have.
What about Xabi Alonso?
A little dark horse, Xavi.
Is that gone out?
He's a great guy. Very, very down to earth as well.
And how do you think he'll do? Because I mean, look, as you said, they're not in a terrible place. Are they? They're not completely cut adrift at the top.
No, it's literally one little slip from them, a draw, and then they pick up a win.
Right. Okay. Here's the question for you. Right. Got to go to a break. Yeah. He's available.
Yep.
Man United are after a manager. I don't know whether you'd noticed that at all.
Yes,
right?
I am.
Carrick looks almost certainly to be given the interim job till the end of the season. And I think that's probably sensible. They'll be waiting to see weigh up their options, what it looks like, what the landscape looks like at the end of this season, beginning of next. Glasner may well be up. Pochettino may well be available. There's Thomas Tuchel after the World Cup. And Xabi Alonso. Can you see a world in which Xabi Alonso may be tempted to go to Manchester United?
Do you want me to answer that now or after the break?
Do it now.
Absolutely not.
That's it, is it?
Absolutely not.
Not you 100%.
He's a cool hero at Liverpool.
Yes, he is.
He's one of the legends, alongside Stevie G and co.
Yeah.
And he knows what the rivalry between Manchester United and
I know, Gemma,
Liverpool.
but that's
and I do not think with the options that he will have that he will say, yeah, you know what, I'm going to go to Manchester United to ruin his legacy at that precious football club.
Okay, all right. Any thoughts on that, Man United fans, Liverpool fans? My best mate, Liverpool fan, he said, "There's no way this going there. No way." He was fuming. Kevin Atchard will be telling us a little bit later what that means and what the chances are of him joining Manchester United or Liverpool for that matter. Next up, continue taking your calls on tonight's football. 03717 223344. And we look back at Manchester United, another loss this weekend, going out this time at the first hurdle of the FA Cup, like they did in the Carabao Cup against Grimsby. It's been a terrible season. What can be saved, Man United fans? 03717 223344. This is the Sports Bar, live here on talkSPORT.
For every good signing a club makes, there's bound to be a few that don't work out. And Man United have certainly had their fair share of those, especially since the end of their golden age under Sir Alex Ferguson. Here are just some of the Red Devils' worst signings since Fergie. First up, Alexis Sanchez. Sanchez joined United from Arsenal back in 2018 and became the highest paid player in the Prem. He'd averaged almost 1 goal every 2 games for the Gunners, but in his 45 games for Man United, he only managed 5 goals. Not what you want from a star striker. Next up, Radamel Falcao. He earned himself the nickname the Tiger for his sheer efficiency and the way he used to pounce upon the mistakes of defenders. But at Man United, he was way more pussycat than Tiger, to be honest. All he managed in 29 Man United games was 4 goals. Moving on, things couldn't have gone much worse for Jadon Sancho at Man United. Yeah, it would have been hard to outdo his Borussia Dortmund form, but 12 goals in 83 games is not great. Things got worse after a public fallout with manager Erik ten Hag. Sancho said he was being made a scapegoat. Ten Hag said there'd been a discipline issue. It all ended up with Sancho going back to Germany. Next, Erik ten Hag probably thought he was being smart in sticking to what he knew when he signed Antony from his former club Ajax. But the £86 million Brazilian hasn't really been able to hack it in the Prem. Chances are Antony's Man United days are numbered. Next, the curse of the Man United number 7 shirt. Not an easy act following Ronaldo, Cantona, Beckham and George Best, but Memphis Depay was another striker who was apparently allergic to scoring for United. He scored just 7 in 53 appearances, a huge letdown since he'd helped PSV win the Dutch league just a season before joining. Last one, Angel Di Maria was set to be United's landmark signing when he joined in 2014, but 1 season later, he was already on his way out. 4 goals in 32 games was just not good enough, given he'd broken the British record transfer fee when he signed. And those are just a few examples. To be honest, the list could go on and on. Unfortunately, that's probably why Man United haven't won the Prem for a while, and why it might take a few more years before they're in contention again.
Welcome to Sports Bar here on talkSPORT. I'm Jason Cundy. Alongside me for another couple of hours, it's Jermaine Pennant, still to come. Midnight Train to Madness at midnight. Of course, that's why it's called that. No sport, politics, religion, or anything too serious. Other than that, anything goes within reason. You might be able to ask Jammer a question, right? He's lived a couple of lives, Jammer, haven't you? You might want some relationship advice, okay? He's your man. Don't come to me, but he's your man. First up, though, Liverpool beat Barnsley 4-1 in the FA Cup third round, right here, live on talkSPORT. Florian Wirtz and Hugo Ekitike came on off the bench and link up for some goals. I would begin to see them bubble. Now, these are the words of Liverpool supporting producer Ryan. And you were there saying they're bubbling, they're simmering. What does that mean?
It means they're starting to grasp the Premier League, they're starting to grasp Liverpool and the style, and they're starting to gel. That's bubbling.
Just bubbling, is it?
Yeah, just like...
What's the difference between bubbling and simmering?
They're both the same, really.
Are they the same?
Yeah, just different terminology.
Okay. What are they doing? They're bubbling or simmering?
I like to go with bubbling.
Bubbling?
Yeah, but you know, like when you got a kettle and it starts...
Before it's
to get really hot, it bubbles, doesn't it?
Well, we're yet to really see the Florian Wirtz that we've seen in Champions League. It's been a tough old gig for him, there's no doubt about it. Plus the price tag. Physically, you made the point earlier, physically the Premier League is a different animal. It does feel at times that he has got a little bit bullied, but if he can release the ball a bit quicker and get bodies around him, there's no doubt the boy's ability. There's no doubt. He's got a lovely little way about him, hasn't he? But he's taking time, isn't he?
It's literally just getting used to the pace. It's literally getting that, knowing that, you know, if you hold onto the ball a bit too long, you're going to know that someone's going to be right behind you.
And ready to boot you in the air.
Ready to boot you in Rose Z. But he seems like he's starting to grasp that now, and he's understanding it.
Talking about wanting to boot someone in Rose Z is 100% Mo. Mo, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Kenny, how are we?
I'm all right, matey. What?
Hey, Kenny,
what do you want?
How come you guys didn't get me on the other night when you got beat?
What's that?
When you got bad, Kenny. What's going on?
Come on.
I was ringing the other night.
You lie, Mo. Mo, you tell such porkies, mate.
What is on? No, honestly. I ring you up and the lines were busy. I wanted to come on
Well, phone up earlier, Mo. Phone up earlier.
What do you mean phone up? I did phone up earlier.
Well, phone up even earlier.
Yeah, well they're not going to take my call at 9:30, are they?
No. Well, it's not Mo. It's not my. What game you on about anyway?
Last week you got beat before you got what's it called, Mr. Resenior in. He's a good manager actually. I do like him.
Oh, you like him?
Up the shells.
Yeah, up the shells. That's it.
Who did you guys lose to?
I mean, yeah, who was it? And we lost a few this recently.
Exactly.
It's Fulham. It's Fulham.
Yeah.
Come on, Candy.
Yeah, I was here. What are you on about? I was here.
No, you weren't.
I was.
That was in game. You weren't here. Anyway, Candy.
What?
Candy.
You weren't. Mo, hold on a second.
Come on, Candy. Wake up.
Mate, Mo.
Yeah.
Mo, you're lying. I was here, Mo.
Listen, I'm not lying to you, right?
No, Mo, you're telling lies again.
I'm
going to call you on national radio a liar.
Listen, I'm going to give you and Jimmy G a proper. Just I could whoop him, but unfortunately the boys couldn't get me on. But anyway, Candy, stop talking rubbish about Javi Alonso going to United. He's not going to go to United.
What am I talking rubbish? I'm asking a question.
What is all you are? You're talking rubbish again.
I'm asking a question. No, I'm not making a statement.
You're talking rubbish, Candy. Come on. Just stop talking rubbish, man. You're just talking rubbish again, like always, right? Listen. That question should not even come to your head. You shouldn't even be asking that question.
Mo,
you know that.
Mo, listen to me, right? I'm not the least bit sorry.
Candy, wake up.
I'm not the least bit sorry that I've upset you. I've asked the question. I'm putting two and two together. Xabi Alonso is a very well respected and thought of manager who's out of work. Man United looking for a manager. I'm just putting two and two together, asking the question.
Listen, wake up. First thing is, like Gemma said, he'll never go there. Second thing is, Javi Alonso's not stupid, is he? Why did you want him to go there and ruin his career? Look at Amarim. Look at all the other wheels. Look at Wreck-It Ralph. Look at Ten Hag.
Yeah.
Look at Jose. I mean, come on, Candy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's absolutely. It's just. What's the word I'm looking for here? It's just a hellhole for the managers.
Right.
I mean, it's just nobody. Who in the right man would want to go and manage United? Come on.
There are really a lot of managers out there who would like to manage Man United.
Oh,
though. They're still a big club.
All right, Jermaine, I'll put you the question. Would you go and manage United?
No. No, I wouldn't.
Exactly. There you go. Exactly. There
but that's
you go.
because I'm a Liverpool through and through. So.
Yeah, I know, but you still wouldn't go there, would you? Even if you didn't have any Liverpool ties, you wouldn't go and manage him. It's just
probably would, mate.
Right, Mo, I've asked a few.
Go and the circus.
Mo, listen, I've asked a few times, right, about how thick.
Come on, Candy, wake up.
I've asked a few times, right, how thick the ice is or thin the ice is for Arne Slot, right?
Listen. I feel sorry for Arne Slot, yeah, because you know what it is. He's a dead man walking. And my sources are already reporting that Michael Edwards' first choice was Javi Alonso.
Right.
Yeah, Javi Alonso was his first choice.
Right, go on, Mo. What's going to happen?
And I want you to tape this, right, and replay it again. Javi Alonso will be a Liverpool manager start of next season. Unless.
What do you mean unless? What do you mean
unless they're going to get beat by Burnley. Unless they're going to lose the next match. Any game he loses now, on his slot, he'll be sacked. He'll be out.
Right, that's what your sources are telling you, is that right? Yeah?
And listen to me. Now, my sources are already predicting this in the future as well. Arne Slot is going to be the next Tottenham manager. So it's going to be a whooping for
Mo, you come out with such garbage, mate.
I'm telling you, Tottenham are going to employ him. Listen, they are. He'll do well for Tottenham.
What? I mean, Xabi Alonso might end up at Spurs.
Candy, wake up. Will he start turning that thing up?
No, it's not me. It's Harry Howe.
Like Harry Howe is a star, but you know what it is, Kenny, right? At the end of the day, yeah.
Go on.
Javi Alonso he's a Liverpool man. He's not going to go anywhere else.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, come on. I mean, look at Wirtz. I mean, he's got a superstar there. Wirtz, I mean, you forget
Wirtz, out of everybody, will be over the moon if Xabi Alonso joins Liverpool.
What is on?
We'll get the best out of him then, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. He had him at the Liverpool, didn't he?
Yes.
And, you know, and Wirtz and Ekitike, and we're forgetting the other third superstar is Alexander Isak. Wait till he comes back.
Right.
You watch the goals will be flying in left, right, and centre. So There's no issues, Cundy, so you can stop taking the mickey.
I'm not taking the mickey. I'm just asking a question, matey. That's all.
Cundy, you ask silly questions. Yeah. You ask silly questions.
I'm asking a question. Why have you phoned up?
No, hold on. You should be asking a question to yourself. How long is Mr. Rossini going to last? That should be your question.
He's only been here 10 seconds.
As a Chelsea fan.
He's only been here 10 seconds, mate.
As a Chelsea fan, how long is Liam Rossini going to last at Chelsea? You should be asking that question.
Look, we got a semi-final. We got a semi-final Wednesday. Who have you got in the semi-final?
Semi-final what? What semi-final? What are you on about there?
Mo, see you later, Mo. See you later.
Good night, Mo.
There he is, 100% garbage.
Mo.
Living up to his name.
He's brilliant.
He loves, come on, spat rubbish. Next up, we're going to take a look back at Manchester United crashing out the FA Cup this weekend. Unbelievably, they went out in the Carabao Cup away at Grimsby, and this time they were humbled at home. By the way, Brighton were excellent, thoroughly deserved it. But things don't seem to change, whether it's a manager or the shape or whatever. It's a 3 at the back or the 4 at the back. The same old rubbish for Man United. 03717 223344. You are listening to the SportSport. He's Jermaine Pennant. I'm Jason Cundy here on talkSPORT. With talkSPORT Bet, download the new talkSPORT Bet app today. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Come on, Cundy, wake up.
Good evening, you are listening to the Sports Bar here on talkSPORT. It's Jermaine Pennant, I'm Jason Cundy. It's now time to get odds with talkSPORT Bet and Ambassador Ryan.
Bring it on with talkSPORT Bet. Download the app or visit talksportbet.com for all the latest odds and offers. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Ryan joins us now. Ryan, good evening, sir.
Evening, lads. How you both doing? You well?
I'm all good, mate.
Oh, good, matey.
I'm all good. We're going to have a chat about your mob, Man United, in a second, right?
Yeah.
Right. How's it been for you?
It's been awful. I'm not going to lie. Usually I'd come on here and I'd just try to put a bit of a front up, but it has been absolutely horrendous. Whatever you think, Man United, thanks for that, Ariel. Whatever you think Man United fans have been going through, double it. Double it and pass it on to the next club.
Would
for
you
all
take
I care.
Xabi Alonso?
Oh, my gosh.
Listen, before we go anywhere, Rhino, right?
Dear.
Is he in the running? You must have some odds on Xabi Alonso.
Do you want to hear something? I went to go pull up the Man United permanent manager market, and it's been taken down since the sacking. Ooh. How about that for conspiracy theory? Okay. They're probably working it all out now in the lab. It's just a shame he played for Liverpool, because I think, again, sometimes at Real Madrid, it can be a bit of a circus, can't it? So he'd fit in at Man United really well, by the way. But it's just a shame he played for Liverpool. I probably wouldn't give my real opinion on that on air, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we kind of we'll establish what that is then.
Yeah.
Do you want to move on?
Listen, put it this way. Yesterday I would have. So...
Okay.
There we go.
All right, okay. Yeah, once we move on. Listen, we got live commentary, both EFL Cup semi-finals this week. Start with Newcastle as they take on Manchester City. This is a tough one to call, this one.
Yeah, it is. Lest we forget, I mean, Newcastle fans won't need reminding. It's the defending champions here, looking to go back to back, aren't they, Newcastle? Yeah. Fair play to them. First leg here at home to try and get 1 foot into the final. They've actually won 2 of the last 4 at home against City as well, Newcastle. They drew and lost the other one, so 2 wins out of the 4. And they haven't lost at St James's in 13 games, which includes 10 wins as well. So, I mean, it's quite a run for them. Now, just the 10 goals for City on the weekend, that was it. Semenyo goal, assist and man of the match on his debut. And he can play for this one. It's actually a new rule where you can play for 2 clubs in this competition now, so he may well feature. But to answer your question, Cundy, City are the favourites, just over evens at this moment in time. Newcastle, despite being the fact that they're at home, they're on at 11-5. Yep. It may change as we get close to kick-off, but that's as it stands. The draw's on at 13-5. So you got to get creative, really, with the markets here. I mean, City and both teams to score is a booster from talkSPORT Bet, so you can have a look at that at 27-10. There's a Haaland market that's boosted. Yes, you heard me right. They're few and far between. 3 shots on target for the big man himself. Boosted to 2-1, so that's not bad. That could very well be a hat-trick, couldn't it? And there it is. Now, Foden will come back in more than likely. He's been rested, so 27-10. That's another boosted price from talkSPORT Bet for him to score any time. For all those interested, really, in a Newcastle perspective, Voltemada at 7-5 any time at home tomorrow would be something to contemplate for your Newcastle biased bet builder. But I'm hoping it's going to be a good one. And anyone interested in Semenyo is also 7-5, same price as Voltemada to score any time too. So a few things to go out there, Jace.
Yeah. What about Wednesday's night's game between Chelsea and Arsenal? How are they looking?
Oh dear. I upped it, Chelsea. Well, to be fair, I mean, it's Chelsea's new gaffer. He completely brushed Charlton aside, didn't he, on the weekend? I mean, you're going to get that it's only Charlton shouts, but he had to do it, and it was a nice start to life for him. It still fitted the narrative, though, that game, that Chelsea have scored and conceded in the last 7 games, Jammer. So that's just kind of the way that they're doing it at the moment. Now, I don't need to tell the listeners and viewers about the season Arsenal are having, but I might need to remind Jace, Arsenal haven't lost at Stamford Bridge since 2018.
Wow.
And that was a right old ding-dong, 3-2 ding-dong. So they don't lose here. No. And they're favourites, sorry to say. They're just above evens. Chelsea are 21-10 to beat Arsenal at the Bridge. And the draw is on, Chelsea are 21-10 to beat Arsenal. And yeah, the draw's on at 23-10. Now, what can we look at? Martinelli, after his Pompey hat-trick. I mean, that's 47-20 anytime. Again, you're going to get this only Pompey shouts, but 47-20 anytime, that's not a bad price. I will look at Declan Rice. It's just worth contemplating goal-scoring midfielders this season. 7-2 anytime. I think that's a big game player, and it's a big game, so I'm enjoying that price. And Palmer's 47-20. He gets a lot of his goals in London, by the way. It's just one of the, mainly in the Premier League, but a lot of them in London. So this suits that narrative. I was thinking, though, Jace, I mean, you got the one, what Chelsea go one up, the one up early payout market if a talkSPORT bet. It's just shy of evens. If Chelsea go one up, talkSPORT bet a payout at that price. What does a good result look like here? Because you can't really be wanting a draw here, can you? Because
I think we've got to take something there. We've got to take something there. They're the best side in the country. It's going to be tough over both. I get why Arsenal favours. I totally get it. But we have to take something there. A draw, Arsenal will take a draw now.
Exactly.
That's a good result for them, a draw, I mean,
so what are you saying? What's a good result for you? What scoreline are you going to go for?
Can't get beat. That's the first one. You don't want to go there chasing something. A draw, better for Arsenal. Obviously, a win. I think we need to take a goal advantage minimum. That would be how I feel going into this game.
Tricky game. That
it is, of
massive.
course it is. No, of course it is. Of course it is. But just want to know the outright winners. I'm guessing it's going to be quite tight between City and Arsenal.
You got it. I think some people would probably think it would be Arsenal leading the betting at the moment. But as of right now, City have just edged it at 6-4. They are the favourites to win the Carabao Cup. Then Arsenal, as you predicted, at 13-8. Chelsea at 9-2. And the defending champs, as it were, Newcastle, bottom of the betting, fourth right now, 11-2. Of course, that's all going to change. It's all going to change over the... And it's one of those competitions that can throw up anything. So a couple of cracking days of football, and I'm looking forward to it, boys.
Right, no, good stuff, bud. And once you get that market on the Man United, is there a market for Man United's next manager? That must have been taken down, right? Yeah,
it was taken down. I can tell you there is one for Liverpool. Weirdly enough, the next permanent manager, and Xabi Alonso, bang, straight to the top at evens. He's the favourite to get the next Liverpool job. It's just when that would be, I guess.
Rhino, top man, catch up soon, buddy.
Cheers, boys.
There he is, Ryan Douglas with talkSPORT Bet. Take a look at the latest odds with talkSPORT Bet. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus begamblerware.org.
Bring it on with talkSPORT Bet. Download the app or visit talksportbet.com for all the latest odds and offers. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Let's go to the lines. 03717223344. Speak to Amir. Amir, welcome to the show.
Jason, how you doing?
I'm all right, matey. You're a Man United fan.
I am. Of course I am. You must know.
Yeah, of course
you
I
must know me by now.
Of course I do, Amir. Of course I do.
Of course.
How are you feeling, bud? I mean, it's been every time I seem to speak to you, Amir, it's like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's the same Groundhog Day. Can't we just have a happy day? And yesterday there was an opportunity there, wasn't there? But same United at the moment.
Yeah, and nothing changes, mate.
What? Listen, as a Man United fan, what needs to happen to this club? Where do you start?
Honestly?
Yeah.
Honestly. Okay, so we're getting this interim till the end of the season. I think Gary Neville said we've written off the season. Yeah, I agree with that. We need somebody who will take the horn by its head. Is that the right saying?
Hold on. You want someone to take the horn by the head? No, I get that. No.
Yeah.
Who do you want to take the horn by the head?
John. You know what? We could, as Man United fans, we can throw out so many names. Whether they will take it or not is another thing. I mean, I like the fact Carlo Ancelotti. I like the fact someone like.
Do you think Ancelotti's going to take the horn by the head?
Number one.
I don't know whether he will, mate.
What do you think, Jace?
Well, I mean, Carrick's going to. He's first to take the horn by the head, right?
Look. You've had
at the moment.
You've had 5 managers. And nobody's managed to get a tune out of this team. I think.
Correction, we've had 10. We've had 10.
Yeah, I'm going to go on I'm going on just on 5. But since Sir Alex, no one's really got a tune out of this.
No one's better taking the horn by the head.
No one's taking no horns and heads. No. It's just not working. Yeah. So I just think you need to just rip the manuscript up and literally clear out the squad. Just rip it off, rip the head off, and start. I can't work with this guy.
I agree.
You ripped the head off as well. So again. I'm asking a question.
No, sorry, the line's going. I do apologise. The line's going.
No.
It's getting a bit of interference, sorry.
No, don't. What about Xabi Alonso?
No. I've always thought sometimes it's with garbage. He actually came out with something quite sensible. He won't take the job.
No.
He won't go to United. And that's why we're also a bit thinking about Jonathan Woodgate becoming assistant manager.
Right.
I don't know how that will go down with Man United fans, ex-Leeds, isn't it? So,
where'd you get that one from?
earlier on. I was listening to talkSPORT all night.
Oh, I
and
see.
they were saying Carrick's number one, and Jonathan Woodgate's going to be his assistant.
Okay.
That's all. It's an mess. I'm on this with a bit of positivity, but I'll never give in.
Amir, listen, the line's not great, matey. Thanks for the call, all right? You drive carefully.
Thank you. Thank you. Cheers. See you.
Cheers, matey. When was the last time you had the horn by the head? No, I'm just asking the question.
I'm trying to think. Can't.
Up next, we'll be joined by European football expert Kevin Atchard over some massive news. Say Xabi Alonso and Conor Gallagher are both on their way out of Real Madrid. He gives us his expert opinion. Coming up next, this is the Sports Bar Live here on talkSPORT. Thank you for your company while listening to the Sports Bar here on talkSPORT. He's Jermaine Pennant, I'm Jason Cundy. In about half an hour's time, we'll open the lines for the midnight train to madness. No sport, no politics, no religion, nothing too serious. Within reason, anything goes Pick up the phone now, 03717223344. If you call in now, we'll call you back, so it'll be a free call. Speak to us, speak to the nation, speak to Jermaine Pennant, tell us anything, but keep to the rules. Now, unless you've been living under a rock for the last 24 hours, you know there have been several major changes across the continent that have shocked the footballing world. So to help us go through all the latest, we have none other than the best European football expert out there. Kevin Atchard joins us now. Kev, good evening, sir.
How are we, chaps? You well?
There he is.
Oh, good, Kev.
Kev, look, I watched the Super Cup last night. It was a brilliant game. Some serious footballers on that pitch. Vinicius, his goal was outrageous. Lamine Yamal one side, that Lewandowski finished. What a brilliant game. But it's not without his losses. There's a bit of casualty. Xabi Alonso has lost his post after losing that final.
Yeah, he has. And he's been game to game for quite a while now. It emerged a few weeks before Christmas that they were seriously considering his position. He managed to put together a run of wins that had certainly saved him for now, but you felt like this Spanish Super Cup was always going to be make or break for him. And the fact that they've lost to Barcelona, even though Barcelona are such an excellent team at the moment, that was always going to cost him. And they've made the decision. And I think what this is the culmination of a risk that hasn't paid off, because you knew what you were getting when you brought in Xabi Alonso. You knew you were getting a coach that wanted to have a top-down mentality, in the sense that he wanted everybody to be on the same page. He wanted everybody to work equally hard. That's how he got Leverkusen to have the success they had. And Real Madrid just aren't built like that, and haven't been built like that for quite some time. And it's not the way Ancelotti coached them. I think Ancelotti would have preferred something similar to what Xabi Alonso was trying to do, but I think he recognised that wasn't going to be possible.
Sorry, Gemma. Just on that, what were the fundamental mistakes that you think he made? What were the players that perhaps weren't on board with that? Was it a collective? Was it one or two? Or and how did the players actually receive him as a manager? Because I think largely he's going to be respected. He doesn't have to worry about that walking through the door.
But I think there was a split. I think he started okay in the Club World Cup, but obviously they weren't able to win that competition. And that was a competition that Real Madrid really did want to win, because it was the first expanded Club World Cup, and they feel they are the best and biggest club in the world, so they feel they should be winning that. But obviously he'd only just arrived. And then they actually started well in terms of results. They looked really good in some games. They looked vulnerable in others. But you look at the numbers in terms of the pressing, in terms of winning the ball high up the pitch. The first few months, it was going well. And then bad habits started to kick in again. And I think that's where players started to become a little bit annoyed by what he was requiring of them. And they didn't want to stick to the plan. And so I think he made some compromises that ended up nobody was particularly happy. And you have to look at the Clásico they won against Barcelona, where he took off Vinicius Jr. and Vinicius Jr. had a complete tantrum about it, then had to apologise, but left Xabi Alonso out of his apology. And I think from then on you could see that this was going to come down to a choice between the players and the coach.
Yeah, sticking with Vinicius Jr., we know he's reluctant to sign a new contract, probably due to the rift with Xabi Alonso. Now, the departure of Alonso, what does this mean now for Vinicius' future?
I think it's much more likely that he signs a new contract now, because the relationship had been strained with Xabi Alonso. There were highs and lows. It wasn't, open warfare or anything like that. It wasn't a scrap all the way through. But there's no doubt that they had a difference of opinion on certain things. And what Vinicius Jr. saw was he saw Mbappe become very much the king of that team, certainly in the attacking part of the team. We've seen Rodrigo start to play more regularly and play better in the last few weeks as well. And all the while, those contract talks weren't happening. So he's only got a year and a half left. He's one of the most valuable players in the world. Saudi Arabia are desperate to bring him in to their league. I don't think that's likely to happen, but it could happen with the kind of numbers they're talking about. So, yeah, Real Madrid, I think, will hope that a byproduct of this decision is that Vinicius Junior is a lot more likely to sign a new contract.
Alvaro Arbeloa is the one that's been given the task of taking over. What is the situation with him? Is it interim? Is it permanent? It seems a little unclear as to what his position is at the club.
Yeah, I mean, as secure as any coach is really at Real Madrid. But yeah, the idea is that he's a stopgap, I think.
Right.
And then you see where it goes from there. Like Manchester United, really, I think they've realised the pool of talent is going to be much bigger in the summer. Mm-hmm. You're going to have guys like Julian Nagelsmann, I would think, on the market, for example. And he's been a target of Real Madrid before. I'm not necessarily saying it's going to be him, but that's the kind of guy that's suddenly going to be on the market in the summer, I would think. So, yeah, I think they will see how... Obviously, if Arbeloa comes in and it continues to decline, they'll have to come up with a different solution. But I think ideally, they probably want him to take it to the end of the season, right, and then they can reassess their options.
Take attention to Tottenham, who are close to agreeing a deal with Atletico Madrid to sign Conor Gallagher. Aston Villa were also rumoured in this player, but Spurs have now got their man. How good of a signing could this be for Tottenham?
Yeah, I think it could be really good because we know about the energy he brings. We know about the experience that he has. And he's not leaving Atletico because he's a bad player. Simeone has spoken in glowing terms about him on several occasions, and he played 50 times in all competitions last season. But he's been behind Pablo Barrios and Koke and others in that midfield area. He's only started, I think, 9 games altogether in all competitions out of 27. So that tells its own story. And again, it's not because he's playing badly, it's just that Simeone has preferred to start other players. And this is an opportunity, I think, for Atletico to claw back some money because they have spent a lot in the last couple of years. So it's probably a deal that works for everyone. But I don't think we should characterise this as kind of Atletico kicking him out. I just think it's an opportunity for everyone.
Now, Bournemouth are trying to replace Semenyo. They've had a bid, £35 million for Stuttgart winner Jamie Llewellyn as a replacement. It's got rejected. What is the latest on that one?
So the latest is that Stuttgart say he's not for sale in this window, and that Llewellyn himself has said he's not interested in a transfer. He scored twice at the weekend in a 4-1 win at Bayer Leverkusen, played very well. I have reservations about Llewellyn at this stage, in the sense that he has games like he had at the weekend where he's brilliant against Leverkusen, then he'll have a few games where he's not so good. And I think that consistency is lacking. And I would have reservations about him coming in as somebody who's the Semenyo replacement. I think that's too much pressure. So if Bournemouth have to look elsewhere, I don't think that's necessarily an awful thing.
Yeah. Brentford have signed for Kei Furo from Club Brugge on a 5-year deal. What sorts of player are Brentford going to be getting with this one?
Yeah, quite an interesting guy. He's tall, but he can shift. He's a centre forward. He can pull into wide areas. He's good in the air, as you'd expect. He does feel like the kind of profile that Brentford like. They're quite a direct team, aren't they? And you could see, with a bit of time and with a bit of adaptation, you could see him slotting into their system and their style. But there is an element of unknown here because he's only played 8 games for Club Brugge. Right. So it's difficult to tell. He's got a good record at youth level with Belgium, but it is a real leap into the unknown. So I get why they've done it. I think there's a lot to like with him, but it's very, very early days.
Right, okay. Harry Kane, since he's left Spurs, Kev, it always seems to me there's rumours knocking about him returning to the Premier League. I don't know why those rumours persist, or because he seems to be as happy as anything you can imagine, Harry, since he's been over there, winning trophies, scoring goals for fun. Why are these rumours always knocking about? Is it just people trying to, I don't know, put 2 and 2 together, the fact that he might come back and break that Premier League goal-scoring record someday?
I genuinely think people in England can't accept that the captain of England wouldn't want to run back to the Premier League at the first opportunity. I genuinely think people find it difficult to compute that a player that had a record of 2 goals in every 3 Premier League games wanted to go to the Bundesliga. And he has been a phenomenal success. There's no doubt about it. He's won the league. He's averaged, a goal a game pretty much. He's an extraordinary record. And he's very happy. Everything you hear in interviews he gives, everything you hear from his camp suggests that he wants to stay. The family is settled. He's settled. He was at a fan club recently, a Bayern fan club for a visit. And he talked about the fact he was really happy to get a winter break, the fact that his family's happy, the fact he's still learning German, the fact that he genuinely feels, and this is the most important thing, that he can win the big prizes at Bayern. And they are playing some unbelievable football right now, and they genuinely believe they can win the Champions League.
Kev, we saw Ekitike and Florian Wirtz come off the bench tonight. Both score, both assist one another. It looks like they're getting a good partnership, but are we starting to see now the Florian Wirtz that we saw in Leverkusen?
Bubbling.
Yeah,
bubbling.
Bubbling. I think so. I think all along we've seen glimpses of it. All the weight of pass, all the little ideas, all the 1-2s, all the movement, that's all been there. I think he's starting to adapt to the physicality of it, to the pace of it. But the natural talent is undeniable, I think. He's starting to deliver in terms of the goals and assists, but you look at the numbers and you look at the game. You don't need to look at the numbers. Just look at the eye test. Look at the games. The number of chances he's made that people haven't taken. And you know how it works. If he's got 5-6 more assists, people are talking about him in a different light. He can't do anything about the price tag. That's not his fault. And I do genuinely believe, and I said this when he was signed, and I still believe it, that he's going to be a signing for the next 4, 5, 6, 7 years for Liverpool, who could define, where they go in the next few years. I think he's that good.
Kev, I've got to get your thoughts, please. I've only seen the result. PSG got beat in the French Cup by Paris FC, their nearest and dearest rivals. They got beat 1 in the final. I mean, this is a massive shock, surely.
Yeah, it is. And they beat Paris FC in the league recently as well. So that makes it even more of a surprise, although that was closer than a lot of people thought. And they're having a funny time, PSG, at the moment, I think, in the sense that I think they've saved some of their best football for the Champions League. They haven't been top of Liga. Lens have. They've been leading the way, although I still think PSG are going to win the league. But they're developing a bit of a siege mentality as well. Luis Enrique has been talking a lot about people trying to destabilise the club. There were the rumours recently that he's completely wiped away, that he's not going to sign a new contract after his deal runs out in 2027. He says that's fake news. It's just not true. But yeah, they've had a lot of injuries as well, players in and out, players not quite hitting top form. So yeah, a major shock and quite an embarrassment given who they've lost the game to. It's not a fierce rivalry. Obviously Paris FC haven't been at PSG's level, so it hasn't had kind of time to become a fierce rivalry, but it's a hell of a result for them.
Kev, you're a superstar. Appreciate your time, bud. Catch up soon.
Cheers, chaps.
Cheers, matey. Kevin Atchard there. That was our European football expert, Kevin Atchard, with a transfer update. Thanks to our friends at Intuit QuickBooks.
Transfer window. Breaking news on talkSPORT with Intuit QuickBooks. Tackle your self-assessment and business admin with ease all year round. Search QuickBooks to find out more.
Next up, we go through the Ralph Ellis back pages. Newcastle won because Jack Cunningham's made it into the studio. And every time he turns up is when Newcastle have won.
Be there for Super Bowl 60 on talkSPORT.
I believe you are listening to the Sports Bar here on talkSPORT. Jermaine Pennant, I'm Jason Cundy. In around about 10-15 minutes' time, we're going to open the lines for Midnight Train to Man. Let's get your calls in now. We'll call you back. Be a free call. No sport, no politics, no religion, nothing too serious. Other than that, anything goes. Now, before we go to the back pages, our latest competition has landed, and this is your chance to be at the greatest show on earth, the Super Bowl, on Sunday, the 8th of Feb. As well as a pair of tickets for you and a mate. We're chucking return flights to San Francisco, 3 nights accommodation and spendies as well. It's all covered. Listen up. Here's how you enter. For your chance to win, text the word WIN, W-I-N, to 83338. That's 83338. Text will cost you £2.50 plus your standard network rate. Or you can call 0343 418 7260. That's 0343 418 7260. Lines closed on the 22nd of January 2026 at 4 p.m. That's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. If it doesn't ring, don't answer it. But if it rings, answer it. 18 plus, UK residents only. This is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. For your chance to win, text the word WIN to 83338 now. Now it's time for the Round Finish back pages. And that music means only one thing. JC's in the house. JC?
Yes, good man.
So you're Mob 1 at the weekend. You come in. You only ever turn up, right, when Newcastle win.
Well, we'll see them in tomorrow then, won't we?
Oh, yeah. Were you in tomorrow?
Well, we'll see, won't we?
Are you in tomorrow?
Yes, I'm in. Yeah. No matter what I'm in.
No matter what.
I'm in.
That game live on talkSPORT. Myself and Jamie O'Hara will be taking your calls. Newcastle take on Manchester City in the first leg of the Carabao Cup. Let's go to the back pages, JC. Wimbledon Chiefs call for BBC revamp. What's this story all about?
Yeah, so the All England Club have asked the BBC to revamp their coverage of Wimbledon. The rights run out in 2027. There's no suggestion that the BBC are going to lose the rights, but they're basically being put under a bit of pressure to elevate the coverage and make it a bit more up-to-date. Or that's the view of the All England Club. They want it to be a bit more like Sky or TNT. Now, my opinion, I don't think there's anything wrong with the BBC's Wimbledon coverage. I think it's absolutely excellent. I think if you look at the viewership figures for the men's final last year, it was 8.8 million when Yannick Sinner, of course, won. And I just feel as if this is almost soft launching them, trying to slowly move the Wimbledon behind the paywall.
Isn't this part of the crown jewels, as they say?
Yes.
I mean, there were very few FA Cup games on the BBC.
I know, which was a disgrace.
And it wasn't until I was halfway through watching that I realised actually there was loads on TNT, which I kind of get, but the red button didn't exist.
Nope.
As far as I could.
Yeah. No, you're right.
There were some of them
on Sunday. There was no games on.
Some are on Discovery Plus, which if you haven't got TNT, you can't get that either.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I've noticed that tennis on Sky and TNT, they do it in a different way. The Australian Open is about to come on, right? They do it in a different way. There's something about the All England Lawn Tennis Club. They do it in a different way. What do Wimbledon want BBC to do? They wanted to jazz it up. They want more colour. Because actually, Wimbledon maybe have got themselves to blame because you can only wear white.
So, yeah.
And it's very Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I don't know how you can... What more do they want?
Exactly.
Any idea what they want?
No, and that's why I'm saying I feel like I'm a bit worried about it, and it feels like it is sort of them trying to maybe eventually put it behind a paywall, which would be an absolute disgrace in my view, because it should not be behind a paywall.
Yeah, you can't revamp something if the rules and everything in there, you know.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm
all are the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, back pages with Mirror Sport. We don't want Ollie at the wheel. We don't want Ollie.
Unfortunately not.
Unfortunately, they don't want
No, it's going to be Michael Carrick. He's going to be appointed tomorrow as the interim manager, and it's all coming out. So last week, talkSPORT understood that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the clear favourite to be appointed the interim manager. They then both had their interview process, and there was a few senior figures within Manchester United who were concerned with the way the interview process went. So two main things. One, the fact that he's only managed one team since, which is Besiktas, and it did not go well at all. And the other one is they got the indication that he believed he could get the job full-time again. So it was a case of he thought, right, if I do well, I'll get the chance in the summer to take it on full-time again. But Michael Carrick gave the impression to the board and the hierarchy that he understands it is just at the end of the season. He's coming in to try and get them into the Champions League for the next full-time manager to take it on to another level. So
That's why ultimately it looks like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's not going to get it. There's a few players as well who weren't keen. No names, of course, but there's a few who worked under him. So maybe it was them. And I do think ultimately out of the choice of Carrick and Solskjaer, if they're going down this weird route of like, we have to have someone who's linked to the club for some apparent reason, but that's the route we're going down, and the one who Alex Ferguson approves. So they've decided to go for that route. I think out of Carrick or Solskjaer, they probably have gone for the right choice because Carrick's only had one managerial job at Middlesbrough. Arguably unlucky not to get promoted in a couple of seasons. Last season wasn't as good, but his team did play attractive football. They scored a lot of goals. I think he might bring some excitement back into Manchester United, which they probably want, way it's going this season. They might out of all domestic cups, whatever. And then meanwhile, Solskjaer, again, I suppose he did play a bit free football as well, but let's not forget how it ended. They got beat 4-1 by Watford in his last game. It was all an absolute mess, to be honest. So they probably have been the right decision.
He's not alone.
He's not.
By the way, he's there's a long line of those.
No, of course there are. Of course there are, yeah.
Paquetá exit plan, says the web page of the Sun. Lewis Paquetá asked to be left out of the West Ham's FA Cup tie on Sunday as he considers an exit.
Yeah, look, so the Sun understand that he has to be left out of West Ham's FA Cup tie against QPR. Alex Crook told us that actually he thinks that wasn't the case, but either way, there's reports that either way didn't play, okay? And there's transfer interest. So Flamengo have had a bid, rejected £30 million bid, turned down. They're willing to go up to 35 million, and it's up to West Ham to what they do over Paquetá. Now, I feel sorry for Paquetá because of the spot fixing thing. Like he was nailed on for a move to Manchester City. He was playing unbelievable football. And
wasn't that around about 80 million?
Yeah. Yes, it was, yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, it was,
gosh.
yeah.
And now West Ham
No, West Ham are going to lose a lot of money,
thousands.
Yeah, and look, and in the end, the FA didn't even have a proper case, which is an absolute disgrace, and it went on for so long. Equally, if he has asked not to be left out of the team, is that really the way to go about it when West Ham stuck by you through all of that the whole time? Like, I'm sure West Ham will let him go. I'm sure they appreciate that. I can't imagine he wants to stay in England anymore after the way it's all gone down for him. But if he has asked to be left out of the team against QPR in an FA Cup game, I just think that's throwing it all back in West Ham's face when they've put their necks on the line for him and really tried to help him out. And in the end, is that really how he's going to treat them and treat the club and their fans? I don't know. I disagree.
I think that incident, the betting scandal, I think that's really, really upset him once ago.
Of course it has.
Yeah, Jack, tell us what's the latest across the talkSPORT website.
Yeah, so we're obviously January, so it's transfer window. You wouldn't have known.
No,
very team have done anything, but it looks like we are going to finally have some action with Conor Gallagher moving to Tottenham. So this morning, it looked like he was going to Villa on loan. Villa had agreed a deal with Atletico Madrid to take Conor Gallagher on loan for the rest of the season with an option to buy. And what's happened since is Rodrigo Bentancur has suffered an injury. Spurs have decided, oh no, we need someone in. They've agreed to pay £35 million to Atletico Madrid. talkSPORT understands he's going to sign a 5.5-year contract. He is flying in tomorrow for his medical, and he's chosen to join Spurs over Aston Villa. A couple of reasons. He thinks he's going to get more game time, and another one, London. Now, in my view, I get those things, but equally, Aston Villa are a club going places. I don't think Spurs are a club going places, to be brutally honest. What are Tottenham going to achieve in the rest of the season? I would think very little. What are Aston Villa going to achieve? I think they've got a very good chance of winning the Europa League. They could easily win the FA Cup, and they're going to probably get in the Champions League again. I don't think it's a good move for his career. We'll see. I think Gallagher's a good player. Is he going to save Tottenham? No, he's definitely not.
JC, you're a superstar. Appreciate your time, buddy.
Always.
Catch up tomorrow when Newcastle have,
3-1.
3-1. There you go. You heard it here first. That's the wrap for this bet pages. Okay, it's the midnight train to madness. You guys know what to do. No calls, no train. Don't leave me and Jammer just sat here staring at one another, because that's what's going to happen, all right? We need you. Part of the show that you own. We don't own it. No calls, no train. Come and join us. Get yourself a drink. Come and sit down. The tickets are being... There's free tickets on the train.